Do you know what's caused that?
Oh, okay. I think maybe no one. Okay, so I think on my thing here, the microphones weren't on. So everything we've said has been blah, blah, blah. So we'll just go over it again, just in case the mics were off.
Hi, I'm Justin.
And I'm Fish.
Hi.
And yeah, we're doing just a pure podcast now, no videos, so you don't have to put up with our bald-headed and the glare from it.
Faces.
You know, it's just a nightmare trying to get the green screen to work with the glare bouncing off of your head from the lighting in our studio.
It is highly polished.
It is. Tonight we are talking about, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. What if you're not happy? Well, yeah, so Black Dog's come back. I don't know why.
No, that's probably the hard question to answer, isn't it?
Look, it's... especially with what I've been through over the last few years. Now, if you don't know my story, a real short version of where I am today is 2019. I found my parents on the living room floor. They'd OD'd, and my mum had been suffering from mental health issues before that, and so it wasn't, there'd been 4 previous occasions leading up to this in the 2 years from 17 to 19. And, but Dad was a big shock. He just couldn't handle it anymore. Wrote a note and, that was really hard. Especially going through mental health yourself. And 2020 hit, of course. Now, at the beginning of 2020, end of 2019, I started feeling crap, not feeling well. Now, I would always get tired at the end of the year because end of the year being a DJ, you're busy.
It's busy as, yeah.
And you do as much as like 45 shows in 22 days leading up to Christmas. And so feeling like crap wasn't anything new. It was an annual, pilgrimage. But yeah, the last Tuesday night of January, I was at a quiz night and I thought I had a mosquito bite on my neck. And 5 o'clock the next morning, I woke up in a lot of pain and it was the size of a golf ball. So I admitted myself to hospital, knowing full well what it was. but just waiting, going through all the tests because they will never tell you what it is.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, you can't diagnose yourself in something like this, but you've got an idea of what's going on.
Yeah, and they will not say the C word in a hospital.
Right.
So that all happened pretty quickly, and then got the biopsy. I was in hospital 3 days. Biopsy, you've got cancer, and that, that's a journey in itself. And then on the 18th of March, it was a Wednesday, 18th, I think. Yeah, it was the Wednesday night anyway. COVID hit, and all the hotels stopped. So we lost all our shows, all our income, and so then I started chemo.
Now, hang on. I want to interrupt there too, because something else of significance happened to you before that. The fire.
No, that wasn't till that. You jump in a gun by about 2 months.
All right.
So March, COVID hit, closing. That's when we went to our very first. We've got a world pandemic here, lockdown. Venues, I think everything went to 25% capacity. You're only allowed to go out, and So that was going on, and then I started chemo in April of 2020. It was my second, so it was the first, around about the first weekend in May. I was going in, or the week before. Yeah, it was the week before. I
now, I know you're being
went a house fire.
I know you're being serious here, but I've got to mention that you're the only person in the history of the world that's had chemo and you've put on weight.
Yeah, true fact. But if I do it my way, or it's no way at all.
Yeah. Go on, mate. Go on.
Do you know what? I like food, and I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
When death's coming for you, it's like bugger you. I'm going to put on as much weight to make this as difficult as possible for you to drag me away.
It's just lucky that you're pretty.
Yeah.
We can get away with that because people can't see us.
No, it's all right. I know people just like me for my personality. So 2020, hospital, you have cancer, you've lost your job, 31 years of doing this, and it's just all gone. And I was working 6-7 nights a week then. So to have your identity taken away from you while you're going through cancer and chemo, and then the week before my second chemo, we had a house fire here, which burnt down all the sheds outside my office and side of the laundry. So we damaged the laundry, and it destroyed a shed full of equipment, and there would have been $70,000 probably worth of equipment. Unfortunately, we're no way of knowing how much was in there, because you don't. It's just everything went there. So even as much as 6 months ago, I went to get something and realised that I'd lost it in the fire. So this is only May of 2020, right? So, and then October comes. I've finished my chemo, and go and have a PET scan. Come back and say that they've managed to. You're dormant, basically. My cancer is dormant, which means it's not the cancer that I have. There's no cure for, but it lies dormant.
Yeah.
So it's just 4 times a year I get blood tests and so. Oh, by the way, you've got thyroid cancer, which they found in a scan. So that's cancer number 2 in 2020. And just for shits and giggles, the week before Christmas, they found a skin cancer, and I had that cut out.
He's got the triple, folks.
That's right.
The triple.
So chemo, because I'm a big guy, they gave me 4 times the amount of chemo, which meant...
you weren't well.
No, not well. And I'm still, now, my body is breaking down, and I'm not a well person. I've been diagnosed with a permanent disability. I have neuropathy of the feet, permanent neuropathy of the feet, which is like having frostbite in your toes, and you can't feel them. So I have a percentage of numbness in my feet, which can be fun at times. I have permanent brain fade as part of it. I've dropped down to Justin's IQ now, which is, I think, why we've become such good friends, because now I understand him.
Now we're using the term friendship a little bit too liberally, but we'll continue. Go on. I'm going to take that thing off you. Seriously.
No, well, you had a chance to use it and you didn't. So, and permanent neuropathy and fatigue, chronic fatigue. So I can't walk more than 100 metres and I have to sit down. I can't stand for more than a couple of minutes. I've got to sit down. And I'm in pain. And the chemo has also exacerbated I've got scans now and I've got chronic or severe degenerative arthritis. And so I get injections in my neck every 5 months. Today I've just had nerve blockers, injections in my back, my lower spine, because I 3 bulging discs, and one of them is pushing into the thecal sac around the spinal column. So the chemo, that my doctor said it's going to F you up, and it has. 2 years after, I'm still going downhill, and I've aged like 20 years in 2 years. So, yeah, so I've got all this shit going on, right?
It's a lot of stuff to bring you down.
As well as depression. And then I admitted myself to hospital in early March, is when my back, I couldn't walk. Now, when you've got all this stuff, fair enough, you deal with depression every day, everyone learns to deal with it. And you have this, just this automatic mode, you just go through things. But when you have your mobility taken around and, you feel like an 80-year-old person and you're 49 years of age, like I said, if you know the story, put myself in a hospital, episode 1. So all of that's going through. Now, because my mental health issues aren't, I'm walking the streets naked, holding signs saying they're coming for us, there's people watching us, and, stopping traffic in the nude. I don't, there's not a lot they can do for me, right? The hospital system doesn't, the health system can't accommodate for the average Blow Joe and their depression.
Joe Blow.
Yep. So, so I've had this whole thing of, losing my identity, then having all this stuff go through, happen to you, and you just become so numb and desensitized. And this is what I wanted to talk about. Now we're back on topic. Is you just almost, everything seems surreal. You're just floating through life. You don't care. Nothing excites you. Nothing. Well, when I say bring you down, you're already down, and you just float. So what do you do when you get to this stage? And it's a lot of people have mental health and they go through days like this or weeks like this at a time, and it's horrible because everyone else is going, getting on with life. I don't know whether anyone's even listening. Have we got anyone live?
Honestly, mate, I've just done another refresh and I can't see anybody actually on there. But hey, man,
we'll go to our comments after the show. We'll get to them like we normally do.
Yeah. Look, I mean,
and you would feel like this as well some days, probably.
Oh, look, it's something that anybody who suffers from depression and anxiety will know at any level, that day-to-day tasks, I guess, become incredibly hard to conquer. Is that what I'm looking for here? It's just everything that's little small things can be big things.
Yeah, things that we take for granted, or normal. I say normal people, things that when the average person takes for granted.
Let me throw something at you here, Fish. There comes a time for everybody who's got issues going on in their lives that you got to say to yourself,